Well, a big hello to you all. It's great to see you. I hope I find you well. Welcome to the Monday Club. And we don't appear to have a song today.
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with the fact that I ordered a Blu-ray of Ghostbusters Afterlife. And for some reason, I've been sent a very small credit card-sized piece of metal with a sappy poem on it.
Yeah, but in a DVD-style packaging. But anyway, I would read out your comments, but the comments are not on screen, hint, hint. But we're going to be having Ollie from Wardle Road on in a bit. So looking forward to that. We're still testing out the equipment. If you remember last week, if you just set that to live chat, last week we had a Cura scale on. Really, really great conversation with Fran there. So we've got Gone Loco, Alan Reynolds, Ruben Ashwell, Valleys 56XX, Ham Shackleton, Damien McKenna, Hayden Jones, Timber Surf, Hythe Kent, Michael White, Leslie Gilpin, Mark Wilson, Dominic Zed, our Kickline correspondent, David Watts, Wamgok, Flymo Chairman 1, Iron Horse Railways, Egg Rider, Daniels OO Model Railways, Sue at Pudham Junction, J. Paul Anderson, Harry Sedgwick, Richard Swiderski, George, Wardle Road, evening to you, and stand by and make sure you're wearing clothes. Not going to make that mistake again. Warbler Productions, who's probably already seen the TARDIS, wherever it may be. Ralph Davies, evening everyone from South Africa. Enjoy the show. Absolutely, thank you very much. We've got quite a few people actually from South Africa, and it's always great to see some of the South African layouts as well. Southern Train Girl, hi to you. Michael Wiles, we've got Josh's Railway Adventures, Donegal Dad, David Scott, Dean Fielding, Clive Cobold, Martin Holstead, Ben Tullett, David, It's My Mother Railway, John Guy, ML, Tim's Mother Railway in different videos says, I am going N/009 gauge in future. And absolutely, there is so much great 009 coming through that I think it's such a viable scale and gauge. So certainly I've been swayed by it, built Minith Tatis. And of course you can see Minith Tatis on its exhibition debut at the London Festival of Railway Modelling in March, and that's at Alexandra Palace. So another great reason to come and visit to see that. Hello to Oswestry Road, TMD, Mells, Malcolm Moore, Wiven Model Railway, Oswestry Road, TMD. Says, hi Jenny and Zoe, hope you're both well. All the very best from Tom in Devon. Finbar Mitchell, hi to you. We've got so many people. Houston WHAP, Jerry BVR says, quick reminder, the Tipfield Thunderbolt movie on BBC Two next Friday at 14:55.
And then repeated an hour later on Hornby Channel.
B. Mozza, great to see you. Peter Leyland, Andy Brooks, Finbar Mitchell. We've got so many great people. So good to see so many familiar names and not quite so familiar people too. To ADBTY, big hello to you. And Dominic Z, our Kickline correspondent, says, Jenny, I got the Plative Kickline building sets yesterday. Excellent. And a huge thank you to George Botterini, who has very, very kindly donated $9.99 on the Super Chat for the train fund. So thank you ever so much. That is incredibly generous of you. And of course, you may have seen last Wednesday, we did a video. We actually put it out a day early because they were on sale only till the end of the month. So if you want one of those Hellion Class 25s for under £130, and you have to put in the code JAN, spelt JAN, at checkout, and there'll be a thing to put in your special code, and that gets you an extra 10% off. That's how you get that price. But that sale, I believe, ends at midnight tonight. But that's what I used some of the Super Chat money on, and I thought it was really important just to show you guys just where the money goes. Absolutely, Ben Tullett says, hit the like button, everybody. Don't forget to tickle that like button, and also really important, sharing is caring. Let other people know that the Monday Club is live and kicking, and everybody is invited. It is your number one hangout for like-minded people from all around the world to talk all things model trains and just generally hang out and enjoy the company of lots of like-minded people. So what's in the news? Well, I think for me, one of the biggies was that Rapido Trains have finally announced that there's actually a few more wagons on the way, and this is making use of their Southeastern and Chatham Railway. Hold on, I've got to sneeze. Oh, you got...
I don't remember there being a sneeze wagon on the way.
Yeah, do you have any tissues? Is that used?
Yeah.
Oh! There, you can have it back now.
No, put it in the bin. Oh, you're horrible to me. You're horrible. I was being generous and you were being
Generous
horrible.
with your snot.
It wasn't even pre-used. It just happened to be crumpled in my pocket.
In your special snot
I keep stuff
compartment.
around just in case I need it.
Yeah. Simon Trains and Other Railway Showcase says, pretty sure the TARDIS is behind the trees next to the Class 25/20 in the siding. Behind the trees.
It's not.
Actually, that's a Class 16, but...
What they're actually seeing is those blue wagons.
Oh, yes. Yes, the blue brake
If
vans.
you switch to the roving, you might be able to see the blue wagons. Are we getting the roving cam? Have we lost cameras already?
No, it's just turned on now. It was having a jolly good...
You can't really see the wagons. If you push them around a little bit, you'll be able to see them.
Oh, what, these?
Yeah. There. That's what they were seeing.
Yeah. So, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, the news.
Well, I've got some news.
Yeah.
I ordered Ghostbusters Afterlife on Blu-ray. I've been looking
I've got to
forward
live
to
with
it.
this.
And they sent me a piece of metal
Okay.
with a poem on it, and it wasn't even a good poem. It was sappy.
That was weird. Right. Anyway, the news. Rapido Trains have finally announced that they are bringing out some extra wagons to make full use of the Southeastern Chatham Railway underframe. So these will include the ventilated vans, and these are the ones, the later ones, I believe, that the actual design sort of became very much the standard Southern Railway design. They continue to build these at Ashford, but they're making the Southeastern and Chatham Railway versions. And they're going to be doing those in liveries suitable from Southeastern and Chatham Railway onwards. But also I think it's the two-plank Engineers wagon also made use of the same underframe, and those actually look really nice. Again, it's great to see manufacturers offering ready-to-run wagons that we've not seen ready-to-run before. Now, if anybody who's asking about whether there's any more news on really the Tipfield Thunderbolt, it's gone very, very quiet, and I suspect that things are going on. In fact, no, I know that things are going on in the background and will be revealed when it's ready to reveal that. I don't know anything, so there's no point in asking me. I know nothing. But we also have news from Rails of Sheffield that the Northeastern Railway auto coach, that forerunner of all of the modern DMUs, they actually left China just before Christmas. So they're on in a container on the high seas. And all that Rails know is that they are imminent. They're saying February into March. They have to go via Denmark, which is where Hellion are based.
So they're not going via Eindhoven?
No, probably not. But those will be imminent. So if you ordered one of the 3 different versions that they're doing of the Northeastern Railway rail car, then those are fairly imminent.
Sorry, I turned the monitor on and it played an advert at loud volume.
Billy's replacement speakers!
Yeah, sorry about that.
And yes, the TARDIS is going around behind the Class 20 D8000, which is a sound-fitted locomotive. Oh, that is quite a mournful one. But Robin Stewart, hi to you. About Bear Lane, Stephen Price says, I went Sunday, wasn't busy, Leslie. I think talking about model rail show. We've also got Angels Share Model Railways and Welcome. And the Green Well Tank as well. Gordon McIlroy. Bo Minnick says Rails is going to take more of my money. Yes, that is a common cry, I hear you say. So I believe as well.
Wagons is the other common cry.
Yeah, yeah, you're going to love the video that's currently sat in the buffer. Because we've had so much great stuff, and you'll have also seen the Oxford Rail Wagon. So I will draw your attention that Oxford Rail Wagons, you will see the two Pilchards just going up the incline. That is both different livery versions that have been released. They actually run incredibly well. It's quite a test on that curve. The twists in that track does tend to derail a lot of things. And then we've also got the Great Eastern Railway vent van on the back there too. So if I go to this angle, then when that does come into view, the Great Eastern Railway vent van, but in the BR livery, is on the back. And then you will also see, knocking about, on the back of the Blood and Custard and the Chocolate and Cream Mark 1s and Thompson coaches, behind the Steam, I think it's a K1 or K3, I can never remember. We've also got the BR livery of the Banana van from Oxford Rail, and really, really grateful to them for sending over one of everything of their Q1 releases. And what they've shown is that there are still good value models out there, brand new, ready to run. And I think we're looking at £14.50 seems to be the across the board price for the vans. Which is actually in this day and age is really, really good. You know, we were getting up to 30 quid for comparable vans from other manufacturers. And then I think we're only looking at £1 more, just £1 for that bogey Pilchard wagon. Although I'm going to be doing a video on weathering those up, because all the photographs that I've seen of the Pilchard wagons is they're absolutely filthy, to the point where I did actually have quite a discussion with Scott Rhodes, who was formerly of Oxford Rail, who's behind...
About what colour they were supposed to be, was it?
Yeah, there was some debate about whether they actually got engineers olive green. And we came to the conclusion that actually, no, they didn't. They just got a liberal coating of dirt.
Can I just ask one thing? Because while I was editing that video, I kept wondering what Pilchard wagon meant. Is it actually a wagon for Pilchards?
No.
Right, yeah, that confused me when you were saying they never got cleaned. I was like, but that would be
smell
food.
Fishy. No, the way it works was it started out a little bit as a GWR thing, telegraph codes. Obviously, you couldn't just pick up a phone; you had to send it kind of like a Morse code. So they give wagons, engineers' wagons, telegraph codes. And in fact, a lot of wagons, things like Crocodile was the Bogey Well wagons, but that kind of stuck into BR days. So what you found is that all the engineers' wagons tended to get what they call fish kind names.
Fish kind.
Yeah, although they're not all fishes, because
there's something fishy about that.
Yeah, because it's shark. Yeah, okay. Because like shark brake vans, shark is not a fish.
Yes, it is.
I thought it was a mammal.
No, dolphins are a mammal, sharks are fish. However, they do look similar because they're excellent demonstrations of convergent evolution.
Oh, well, now every night is a learning night here on the Monday Club. Right.
Speaking of Monday Club and nights, are we about ready to try and phone your friend?
Okay, so yes, Ollie, are you ready? We are going to...
Gladiators, ready!
Absolutely. I'm just looking... It's weird, actually. Those three buttons seem brighter than that one. Have you used a different...
I don't know why.
Have you used the on-air graphic instead of the off-air graphic for them?
Yes. There's only one graphic.
Oh, well, they've lit them all up.
Yeah.
Right. See, Iron Horse Railways, Pilchard, Prawn, Sea Cow, Dogfish, Catfish, and Shark.
Why is a monkfish called a monkfish? It's not a monk.
It's also salmon. I'm trying to find the fish kind of wagons. You've got me thinking now. But there, sea urchin. Mark Wilson says, send some money. Right, let me just, before we get going, let me just double check. I need to thank some people who have sent via the paypal.me app. So I'm just loading that in. And I always like to thank people. I have a feeling that I have missed somebody before. So
chances are you have. You
it's
are a very busy lady.
I know, but I like to thank people.
I think that's one of the good things about you.
So I'd like to thank Karen Nickel, who very, very generously donated £10 for the Loco Fund, and that actually came in last week, I think. So we missed that, but Mark Wilson has very kindly donated £9.41. Excuse me, there's a lot of gas in the beverage.
You're being a bit gassy, are you?
£9.41, and says not to be spent on kettles. Okay, that's a bit. I'm sure you'll be pleased. The super chat spends with that class 25. But thank you ever so much for that, Mark Wilson. Very, very generous. So we're going to be getting.
So we've been blinging and beeping all the way through this because apparently I forgot to turn off Facebook. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to start the video call.
Okay, well, let me get my headphones on, which otherwise I can't hear Ollie. And we're going to try and dial in Ollie. This is still
our standard Power Extreme system.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you're probably going to have to turn the volume up for us. Second one? No. Second in from the right.
That one?
No, next one. Yes. There we go. I can hear it ringing now.
And I believe if we...
Have we connected?
Yes, it looks like we have.
Oh, gosh, that's loud. Turn me down a bit.
Give me a second, Jen. I'm trying to sort of thing. Right, do you want to press the button so he's actually on screen?
Okay, so we're going to
Come on.
We're gonna...
What are you doing to me? Yeah, you're meant to be a professional here.
Professional. So
you press one of the buttons?
Yeah, I have. If you can get the chat up on that.
Give me a minute. Hey,
if I gave you a minute...
See what I have to deal with, Ollie.
So
can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Can you see us and hear us?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Brilliant, no worries. I'm just going to bring up so I can just make sure that we're still on screen.
We are. I've got you on screen.
Oh, apparently, yeah, hold on. I'm being given an advert because apparently that's what I really, really want when I actually just want to monitor things. So how are you doing? Are you feeling much better? Because I know you have been
I am, yeah.
Under the weather.
The COVID bug did strike me down, but I'm here on the other side to tell the tale.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm not too bad at all, actually.
Excellent, and you're there in your railway room, and it's not an angle we normally see because when you do your Wardle Wednesdays, you tend to have a camera focused right in on an area of your layout. So
I can. Would you like me to put one on? I can actually switch the camera to the track if anyone wants to.
So you can do that because we're using Facebook video. Will it let you switch cameras?
Yeah, it will do. Yeah, if I just
oh wow,
press a couple of buttons.
So because I'm looking around your layout. So this isn't county school, is it? This is a different layout, or is this county school?
Let's see if this has worked. Hang on.
Getting a blank screen.
Okay, right. No, one more time.
Oh no, it's broken. So, whilst you're doing that, let's just have a look.
There you go.
Oh, right.
By the way, Ollie, you just had the blank screen there. How do I get that kind of image quality? Because Jen needs to be in that kind of image quality.
What, blank screen?
Yeah.
Hey, cheeky. That is great. I love the way you really, really make me feel inadequate when I look at your tracks. How perfectly parallel they are.
I mean that I can only thank the Pico gauge. You know the Pico gauge tool you get.
Yeah.
The red one.
Oh,
unfortunately
that's my mistake because I'm bone idle. It's like I can't be bothered. I'll just do it by eye, and then you do it, and then you go, God, that looks horrible. So never ever.
Did you do all yours? Do you do all yours by eye then? That whole loop by eye, was it?
I used a steel ruler. And I just took random measurements, and they were about right. But the trouble with that is that they kink a little bit. But when you've got like a long straight, it becomes very obvious that they're not actually a long straight.
I suppose, yeah.
So which layout is this? This isn't county school, is it?
No, this is the actual Wardle Road layout. This is the actual layout in the room at the moment. And I decided after I've been focusing so much on county school, I thought it'd be about time I cleaned the tracks up a little bit and actually ran some trains.
Yeah. So is this layout staying, or will this become superseded by county school?
No, this layout at the moment. No, it's funny you say that because I have had thoughts about whether I want to completely replace everything in this room to the Mid Norfolk Railway. As I'm sure lots of people halfway through a layout think, actually, I want to build this instead. But no, at the moment, Wardle Road staying like this in County School will be the exhibition layout. That's the plan anyway.
Right. So basically, County School will be the one that you take along to the exhibitions, and
yes, yeah. I'll put my face back on the camera just for now so people can see what I actually look like.
No worries. But no, it's great to talk to you. I've been trying to get you back on for quite some time. It's with the old COVID, it's been really, really hard to get anybody on, and I've kind of missed that. But we've learned so much about technology, have we not, over the last?
Oh, I tell you what, yeah. Since the lockdown, I don't think I've spent as much time as I have before. Sort of sitting on Streamlabs and trying to improve the quality of the output of the content that I'm making.
Yeah.
Hopefully, from what people have seen on the stream, that it has come out a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean it's something that actually our understanding of technology as a whole, everybody has really improved. I've seen so many live streams turning up from so many different YouTube channels, but also even existing channels improving how they're doing things. And one of like we never would have dared try what we're doing now with putting guests on screen. We were like, oh no, you'll have to drive the length of the country and turn up here.
Let's not forget, Jenny, before I met you, you had only one camera facing you on your live streams, and now you've got the biggest camera setup I think on any streaming anywhere.
I know. I keep getting emails from people saying, could you just let me know what cameras you use? I want to set up something the same. And it's one of the things I think that we kind of pioneered a little bit on the live streams was having the cameras in the layout. Although you actually gave us that idea, because when you visited the first time, you brought another camera and we were able to actually have a camera.
Split screen it, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say that's not entirely true, Jen?
Oh, sorry. The all hail the cupboard monkey.
Because when Jen was trying to set up Weir Yard, I kept telling her, why don't you build it with the idea of hiding cameras in the layout so we can have live streams where you can put the cameras on screen?
Yeah,
I never envisaged that we'd have multiple cameras like this.
You should have been more forceful with that idea.
Sorry?
Yeah, but he said you should have been more forceful. Oh, hold on. Can you plug me back in?
Are you there?
No, I'm coming out of one ear now. Well done. You push the whole thing down.
I have.
There.
Hello to everybody in the chat, by the way, who doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, just sorry, my headphones broke out. We still haven't got our side of things working fully.
Yeah.
But what
Can you still hear me all right?
Yeah,
I
we can hear you okay.
What I said when we were starting up is I wanted her to be able to have a live stream where we could have a train camera on screen rather than just her. My original vision for this was to have her on screen and then to be able to press a button and switch to a different camera. But what actually we've ended up doing is multiple cameras on screen at once, and most of the time it works. Sometimes it fizzes out, but
I can see it's a bit choppy at the moment. And
it's like an arms race that we've done, but I'm really happy with it, and I think people like it as well. And now I've seen how you do yours. You've got that, what Jen would call a rostrum camera, where you can see what the stuff that you're building as well. And it's like
I'm slowly getting around to actually setting up cameras all over the place now. So
I love
it's not quite as up to date as yours is, but it's getting there.
I don't know about that, because I looked at yours and went, I love that you can now essentially live stream a build. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, see, I've got a rostrum camera I use when I film videos. I've started doing that, and I do like the effect that we get with that. But it's not practical to put that camera. Apparently we've lost the camera.
No, Jan, you've pressed a button and broken everything.
So let's try a different cam. This is one of the problems that we do find. Is
we're still having technical issues with this.
OBS is a bit obstinate.
Yeah, it just
So-
doesn't like stuff. It's like, oh, you've changed things now. I don't like it. No, I don't
and
like it.
it's broken
All
all
of
of
them.
our scenes.
Well,
So
there you go.
just
Can
give
you,
me.
can you still see and hear me, or am I the reason?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cameras
you're
aren't
coming
working?
through. Okay.
Oh yeah, we've got these, but we had another idea that what if we get multiple cameras on screen, and so the answer is no.
It does tend to chug a bit.
Oh, we've got them on a screen again now.
Yeah, I know. I flicked through until I found one that came. Oh, and now it's gone.
Oh, hang on, I'm behind you apparently. I'm behind.
A lot of time as well. I don't know if you have it, but with it might be
we're
an
back now.
issue on your end. But with Streamlabs OBS, if you switch screens too quickly, if you've got the camera set to close off the scene, if you then switch between like multiple screens quickly, the camera won't actually turn on.
Right. We have it where the light comes on the camera, but it thinks it's on, but it's not, and it's really annoying because it doesn't come back unless you effectively force reboot of the camera, which you can only do when you're actually on air by physically unplugging the camera and then plugging it back in, which is really annoying because everybody gets the USB sound.
Technology, eh?
I know. We're still getting there. But so tell us, what is your current project?
Oh, I suppose I should probably introduce myself because I think you've got over nearly 300 people in here at the moment. I'm assuming.
I
not all of
thought
them-
everybody knew you. We've had you on a few times, and you're always in the chat. And of course,
I think when I first came on, you had maybe 140, I think, and that was only a couple of years ago. And you've doubled that. The numbers I think we were speaking before on my channel about over lockdown how the numbers have just like skyrocketed.
yeah. And I mean, it's we now regularly we get up to at the peak we got about 500 on at the same time.
What's your maximum? What's your record so far?
My record, I think it was 498. We were too short of the 500.
Oh no! Why didn't people make 2 accounts just to get it over the 500?
Yeah, it's like that's the time where you really do want those trolls to rock up.
Yeah, just all of you come in at once and troll just to get over the 500 mark.
But usually we at the moment we're averaging about, I think it's about last week we got up to 390, something like that. That's more normal, and it depends because at the end of the day it is a school night for a lot of people. But we also have a great audience in the US. South Africa seems to be a big growth market. Australia, New Zealand, India. And so what I actually find is that we get a lot of people view it later on. So, I mean, the views we're getting, I think we're getting about 4,500 views in a week.
That's insane. That's insane numbers for a live stream. Like a live stream rewatch.
Yeah, I mean it's all right, but you know it started out small, and it's something that I always tell people that with a lot of these things, success doesn't come overnight. You do have to work at it, but it will come if you're passionate about the subject and you keep striving to make the content as good as you can, then people will come. And it does build, and you've got to remember that we've been doing live streams since YouTube made live streams possible. We were actually that's the other thing as well, that don't overlook the benefits of being first. It's worth an awful lot, and we were just lucky, right?
But also, don't overlook the benefits of being good.
Well, yeah, no, but being first.
That's a very good point.
And this is something as well. It's the same when you get competition between different manufacturers. We saw this with the Rails Daypole Terrier versus the Hornby Terrier. We also saw this with the Oxford Rail Adams Radial versus the Hornby Adams Radial. That being there first is worth an awful lot. And in YouTube live streaming, it was a novelty when we started. So we kind of got traction before everybody else started to find their feet. And
what year did live streams sort of come into place? Because I don't remember ever seeing YouTube when it didn't have a live stream feature as such.
How many years have we been going?
Yeah, Jen, you didn't start when live streams started.
Well, it's certainly in the model railway community, we were the first.
Yeah, we were very much first because we wanted to try stuff out. But live streaming came in. Remember when I saw that fire in Bolton, and that was what gave my channel the boost and got me into monetization. You could have live streamed then.
Oh, I thought there was loads of strings attached. Like
You had to be a certain size in terms of viewer count.
And we got. Let's just have a look and see who we've got in the comments. So we've got Ed Flame 4291. It says, I used to live in Hemel Hempstead before WCML was rebranded. We got.
That's not too far from me actually. I'm in Aylesbury, so it's only down the road, Hemel Hempstead.
I thought you were in Ruislip, or you moved from there.
Well, I moved. So I lived in Ruislip with my parents, and I moved with my girlfriend to Aylesbury, and that's where I've been lucky enough to get the space to get a whole room for my hobby, which is.
Oh wow! How did you swing that? Is there another room somewhere that?
I don't know how. I'll be honest. I don't know how I swung it. But once that door's closed, all the mess is on this side of the door.
you don't know what you did. But whatever it was, it did good.
It worked.
And it is actually worth a lot. If you can have an entire room for your hobby, it is. It's worth a lot.
Especially because I'm always the type of person to have a million projects on the go at the same time as well. So it's nice to be able to have.
I know what you mean.
Behind me, I've got county school, and then I've got stuff on the workbench I'm working on, and
so that raised section that you've got there, that's county school, or a section of
that is half. Yeah, that is half of the 10-foot scenic section of county school, and I don't know how I managed to get it in here on the stands, but I have done. And I've actually found working standing up is a really good break from sitting down on the workbench. I've really enjoyed actually sort of standing up to do the work, if that makes sense, because we spend so much of our time sat down in this hobby that it's nice to sort of stand up, walk over there, and work on some bits.
Yeah, I know what you mean, definitely. But I mean, you've seen where Yard lives. I can't get modules for the builds up through the loft hatch very easily. I think
they're very small.
I've got a small O gauge. It's a diorama, but it's made so you can actually operate the trains. But I took it out from the loft once, and that was just an epic logistics challenge. And then, of course, trying to get it back in again afterwards. So I can't really do that. But I'm guessing you're in what would be a bedroom, is it?
Yes, yeah. This would be the spare bedroom. I mean, someone can sleep on the floor in a sleeping bag if they really want to, but wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like up here with your fold-out bed, isn't it?
I've never really tried.
Would if I'd let you. You'd stay here. If I installed a mini fridge and a hot plate, you would never leave.
Yes. But so we've got Total Trash _Pro. Big hello to you. Hemmeldown Model Railway, and Ed Flame 4291 says, have you got any thoughts on a Curascales Manor class due for Q2 2022? I must admit that I think it really does look good. But Ollie, have you been taking a look at any of the forthcoming models, and is there anything in particular that's really stood out for you?
I mean, a good question actually. Obviously, we had the Hornby announcements, and obviously. The Thunderbolt, but the thing for me was I really wanted a Thunderbolt without all the extra wagons and things like that. And I know Rapido are doing the loco on its own, I believe, as one of their. So I think I do want to get one. Just I think it looked lovely running through county school. To be honest with you, no particular sort of theme to it as such, but just I love the Lion, and I know someone who's got one in 5-inch gauge.
Right. So, yeah. In fact, actually, at the Steam Workshop, I saw one, and that they look interesting, but I'm not sure that I would want to run one in 5-inch gauge. I can imagine steaming it could be a bit challenging.
Yeah, and the water runs out in about half a second, so because they're so small. But just that was the main thing for me, I think, from that Hornby release anyway.
Can I just a quick question that's come here from Andy Brooks says, Ollie, what model rail shows are you going to this year with County School?
Right, good question. So I've had 3 booked in, and all 3 have cancelled. 2 due to venues and 1 due to COVID. I believe I've got a show in September down Kent Way, I think, but I still need that to be confirmed. But at the moment, I've just been speaking to a few show managers about where and when I can get it to places, because obviously it's including the fiddle yards. It's 16 foot long.
Right.
So it's not the sort of thing you can just stick in the like in a spare corner somewhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It does take up a fair amount of space.
And how many operators does it need?
Again, we haven't tested it fully to sort of max operating potential, but I think ideally you want one or two in the middle, and at least one at one of the fiddle yard, like the fiddle yard ends, because the idea is that each fiddle yard is going to have lots of cassettes, so the loco will come on then, and someone can sort of move that cassette around to whichever way, and it'll all run on the Z21, so everyone who's got a phone can run the layout really.
Oh yeah, because they've got like a wireless interface that you can just have like an app on your iPhone. Got a big hello to Aiden's Railways has dropped in, and just looking to see if we've got any other questions. But Paul O'Donovan says BRM magazine for March is in the shops. Shenston Road Steelworks Part 2. Stunning layout, superb layout, top quality article. Hornby 2022 range announcements are in it, and a review of the Class 20/0 from Bachmann. Just looking back, I don't see any other question, but we were talking briefly about forthcoming models. Is there anything other than the Thunderbolt that you saw from any of the manufacturers that you thought, I must have that?
There was, I think it was in one of the Hornby sets at the beginning, when they showed their starter sets. One of them had I don't know what sort of livery it actually was, but it was a WR wagon. So just by chance, I thought there's not like Hornby have just by complete chance have made a WR box fan. So I'd like to get that set with that in.
Oh right.
Other than that, there really wasn't too much that would fit my era.
Oh,
obviously,
are you one of these people then who rigidly sticks to a particular era and geographic location?
On Waterloo Road, no. County School, yes. Obviously, County School is the Mid-Norfolk Railway, and I'm doing it between the late 50s, early 60s. So it's a very small gap as to what I can actually get on there and run, which is why I spent a lot of time recently having locos worked on and to get everything exactly right for County School during that time.
So I mean, I always I have a bit of the eye of the magpie, so I struggle to actually hone my interests to a very specific era or location. So for me, I'll be honest, there's so many things that have been announced, and one of the ones actually which I really got my eye on is the Sentinel 6-wheel shunter in Manchester Ship Canal livery. That's become...
Oh, I've seen some pictures of the Sentinel actually.
Well, they did the 4-wheel chain drive and the 4-wheel rod drive, and the 6-wheel rod drive is basically like the big brother to the previous version they did. And there was always rumours that they were going to do it. It's finally been announced. We've got it in Manchester Ship Canal livery that ran at Ellesmere Port right through until about 2000. Also Port of Bristol Authority, and there's a third livery which is green, and I can't remember what it is. But it's one which I know that there was a Judith Edge kit for a very long time. It's very popular for making it. So I guess a lot of modelers have really been crying out for it. But I really do love the proliferation of pure industrial types that never had a counterpart on the British Rail.
Talking of industrial locos, I wonder if maybe I've completely missed this, but obviously Hornby came out with the 48 DS, and they were meant, at some point they were meant to come out, unless I've completely missed it, but I've been waiting to get my hands on one.
The
I haven't seen it,
88
the 88 DS.
Yeah,
has that come out, or have I just completely...
If it has, I've missed it. My understanding is it's one of the many things that are completely delayed. And there's so much stuff that's delayed that I'll be honest, I am curious when we're going to see a lot of the announcements from this year, although Hornby have told me that the 6-wheel Sentinel is due in the next couple of weeks. So I guess it's very strange. I'm not quite sure how they announce things versus how far they are into production. And what's clear is that I guess that they were worried that if they announced too early on the Sentinel that it might lose its wow factor and somebody else might jump in and try and beat them to it, which would be a bit.
I only wondered because that announcement for the 88DS was well over a year, maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah,
and it just went completely silent. And I've been waiting for one to come out. So I'd love one for both County School and Warder Road, but it's it just seems to.
I like the
vanish.
Roundtrees one. Looks really
Yeah.
nice. It just really stands out. But there's also there's one in rail blue with a tops number. Oh no, it's the pre-tops version. Although the real locomotive did actually get onto tops in rail blue. Although Hornby haven't done the tops version, although no doubt that will be coming at some point. But yeah, I'm just looking here, and Michael Wiles says the 88 is missing in action, no sign, shame. And Belmont Junction says 88DS talks now the end of 2022 into 2023, and I can only think that there's been some kind of a delay in making that for some reason. Either it's been shuffled down the priority list, or they've run into kind of.
I think it's gone down the priority. I must have gone down the priority list because normally they'd maybe even attempt to announce that there's been some kind of delays, but maybe the 88DS has just become a lesser priority to the point where they've just thought, oh, we'll announce it whenever we get round to it.
And Michael Wiles says, still waiting for my Class 37s from a scale. Now, they are in production, I believe, but the Class 55s, they were all being well, are going to be the first ones to be received. They're supposed to be being dispatched, all going well, before Chinese New Year, which... Is that this week? I'm asking like you're a guru on Chinese New Year.
I'll be honest with you, Chinese New Year's isn't my sort of subject of expertise, so I'm going to have to pass that question over to Zoe, I think.
Kung Hei Fat Choi, I believe, is Chinese for Happy New Year. But
I'll just answer Peter's question quickly. He says, can I ask Ollie, is Warder Road based on a real location or a random name? Yeah, Warder Road is an imaginary place. Name, as a lot of layouts names come from, is my grandfather's surname, Victor Wardle. So that's where Wardle came from, and then Warder Road kind of worked, and it's just a makeshift, like a make-believe place. But County School is an actual place on the Mid Norfolk Railway.
Yeah, which has been, I believe that County School was actually the first location that they worked to preserve. It's got quite a long history. Quite a troubled history in preservation. It's been restored and then kind of left to go derelict and then restored again. It's I think it's on its second or third preservation incarnation. I've
spoken to the station supervisor. I've actually become quite good friends with the station master now, which is nice. But they did have plans before COVID to get the final bit of track relayed. But I think they need around £1 million to finish the project.
Yeah, because
I could be wrong with that number, but it's a hell of a lot of money.
There's a lot of people just saying 1st of February, John JMC, Liam at New Mills Model Railway, and Warbler Productions all saying Chinese New Year is tomorrow. So Kung Hei Fat Choi to any Chinese viewers who are watching, and my pronunciation is probably atrocious. Russell Benton says 55's now expected early Q2. I haven't had any updates from Scale. When I spoke to Fran last week, he said that they were trying to get the 55's out from the factory and onto the ship before Chinese New Year, because obviously that's like it's for them that's the big event of the year. It's a bit like Christmas and New Year is for us. So Chinese New Year is for them, so everything shuts down. But that would hopefully then mean that you would be looking at, I think it's 4 weeks on the sea, and then however long it takes to clear customs. So we're probably looking at end of February, beginning of March for the Class 55s. And they're the first, of the Scale locomotives that are coming through. And then after them, I think it's the Manor, and then after that is the 37. I can't swear on that though, but I don't know. Is it a Class 55 going to make your fleet, Ollie, or is that not your cup of tea?
Yeah, well, a similar question there from Mark asked, what other diesels could I run on County School? Well, for County School, the only diesels that actually ran there, as far as I'm aware, pre-preservation, were DMUs for driver training. They used County School as a driver training, so they filmed the driver training videos there.
Yeah,
because there was quite a complex track plan, which was made it.
It was a complex junction, but not highly trafficked, so they could film the training videos without actually getting in the way of regular services. I believe is why they chose there. But because I thought that in terms of a freight capacity, the railway lasted to north of County School in freight only use through until the 1970s, which would suggest that probably things like 31s or 25s would have worked that way, but after passenger services had ceased.
Yeah, but what a long time after steam last went through there as well, I imagine. But the main freights you get through there were milk and grain. Right. So I've got a rake of three of the 6-wheel milk. The depot ones, the 6-wheel milk containers, and I've also got a rake of the Bachmann grey grain wagon hoppers as well.
Oh yeah, so, I know that became later the CGO wagons that look very much like the old Hornby 00 grain wagons.
Yes.
Which I remember quite fondly from my childhood, thus dating me. A big hello to J94 is in the chat, and Andy Brooks says County School have a narrow railway there at the moment that moved from Holt Station to County School. Oh yes, in preservation they've got like a ride-on railway or something. Is that correct?
It's actually I went down there when they were just running on. Because County School's only a couple of hours wait drive for me. Sometimes if I'm bored one day, I just drive down there.
Pop over.
It's like my favorite. It's my favorite place just to go and sort of chill out. It's really quiet there, but they're building a 5-inch gauge railway. Funnily enough.
So why? Daniel Krassman has very, very kindly donated $6.99 Canadian. Says a rare chance to watch the live feed as I'm typically at work here in sunny Vancouver. Another donation for the air conditioner jar. Thank you ever so much. That is incredibly generous. I know it's in summer, it can get warm up here. So we did talk last year about an air conditioner, and I like a prat, I went, oh yes, I'll pick one up at the end of the season in the sales, and never did. But certainly,
Sorry. I was just going to say, there's a question from Warbler Productions says, will you be attending the first Stafford Barn Model Railway Show in April? Yes, I'm 99% sure I'll be there. I've also been speaking to someone about possibly bringing County School there as well. It's not confirmed yet. It's a bit unlikely, but there's a small chance that County School might make an appearance there. But either way, I'll be there. I'll be there in some shape or form.
Oh wow. So that's one of the things actually I meant to ask you is, do you tend to get people approach you for inviting you to exhibitions, or do you actively go out there and seek out exhibitions that you want to exhibit at?
That's an interesting one, because I've never, since I've started the hobby, I've never ever sort of been interested as such as exhibiting my own work. I know it sounds it's a stupid thing to say, like when you sort of don't really rate your own work as such, but I've never found my work kind of good enough, I feel, to put at a show. So I've never really, up until building County School, thought about exhibiting. So the whole exhibiting sort of side of the hobby is all extremely new to me. But in regards to showing off County School, I've got a few friends who do a lot of exhibits, which kind of guided me into making sort of info sheets and things like that of County School, and then passing that on to the relative people. But most of the time, I'll just turn up to a show just to see if I can get a good bargain or two.
I mean, I've been invited to the Stafford Barn exhibition, but as a guest of Hornby magazine. So
yeah, same here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there all weekend, but as a free agent, a bit like I was at the Great Electric Train Show, which is kind of nice. But there's a part of me that's actually, if somebody were to contact me, then Myneth Tatis is available to book. It's
all about getting on the circuit as well, on the exhibition circuit, because obviously people will invite. I've been to plenty of shows where they've had the same sort of layouts every time I've gone there, like, or similar layouts. So you can tell that they obviously trust these people to bring their layouts along.
Yeah.
But it's getting onto the actual circuit. But I'm hoping once County School gets out there, people will enjoy it. I have no idea what the reaction to it's going to be. I've not done any videos on it or anything so far, so it's a completely sort of new thing for me to see what people actually think of my work in person.
Well, I mean, I got invited to Alexandra Palace because obviously people had seen the videos of Men of the Tatters and were quite impressed. I was just told I want that layout at Alexandra Palace, which is what happened with the War of the Worlds layout, but
Yes.
then COVID stopped all of that. But in terms of other things, the only other exhibition that I'm currently booked into this year to exhibit at is Glasgow. And I actually got approached for that to take the Escher upside down layout from Hornby A Model World, which was a bit worrying because it was never built to be an exhibitable layout. It was built as a film prop. So
Yeah, that layout certainly stirred the pot on the old Facebook as well. So
oh
I think
God, yes, haters gonna hate. But that was the whole point. I mean, at the end of the day, as my mother always used to say, empty vessels make the most noise, and the vast majority of people found it just what it was meant to be, fun. But then you get the usual people who took time out from counting rivets to criticise it for being for not taking the hobby seriously. And all I could think was, those are exactly the sort of people who are actually putting off new people from the hobby.
You're talking about your favourite people again.
But I'd just like to say, Nuts and Bolts 77 has very, very generously donated $10 and says, "Good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Oh, and Ollie. And this is also for the air conditioner fund." So, hey, we'll have an air conditioner by the end of tonight's show. This is great. But yeah, I mean, Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says Glasgow, Jenny. That's not Model Rail Scotland. It is Model Rail Scotland. All I knew was I'm going to Glasgow, and I was struggling to try and remember what the show was called. But yeah, I'm there as part of the publicity, so you'll be seeing a lot of that layout. Haters are going to love that.
Yeah, she says part of the publicity. She's going to be standing outside with a rotating sign that says golf sale.
What, a sandwich board?
There's a question from Mark. I'll just answer quickly. He says, now you have made a model in a real place. Do you prefer working this way with all the research rather than making it up? Yes, I think. The research side of it was a little bit harder than I thought it would be, as even though it's filmed, a lot of the, other than the actual track plan and the sort of the station, a lot of the outs, like the scenic parts of it wasn't really documented that well. So I've spent a lot of time researching, and it's been a lot of fun actually. And obviously having people who work at the station and have a lot of information about the station as well, to the point where I was even able to get my hands on the actual drawings for the island platform building, to have that remade as well. It made for a lot of fun.
And what actually attracted you to County School? Because it's quite an out of the way location, and it's not somewhere that you've lived. So what was it that made you think that's where I want to model?
Well, I've spent the cottages, which actually feature on my layout, is where I spent many years as a child. We went because it was a fairly cheap holiday. So we had family friends who owned the cottage, which used to be the workman's, the railway workers' cottage. And we rented that out for a week every year for like a good 10, 15 years of my childhood. And that's where the initial connection, that's why I had the initial connection. And then obviously, before my granddad passed away, his dream was to see steam trains running back through County School again.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a strong connection with County School as a place. And as I say, I can quite happily just drive there for a day, just spend some time there.
Excellent.
I love it. I really do love it there.
It
Get a few people saying the image is a bit choppy.
Yeah,
I think that might be the railway
it's
camera
our
in the
end.
background.
It's not you. Well, you're coming through fine on our side, but we've got bad weather, and I think it's starting to affect.
There is a
junction
lot
boxes.
of bad weather in the UK.
Is it worth trying to minimise the camera in the background, just see if the two face cams would work? I think when that went blank earlier, the two face cams were a little bit smoother.
So what if I go to that angle? So now, Ollie, you're going to get very, very big. So we'll see if this works a bit. But yeah, the weather here is atrocious. So that's probably something to do with it. Nigel Cole says 310 watching. Please click the like button. Absolutely.
310, wow.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Better than a poke in the eye. Also, Matto Vel, this is going back to the upside down layout, says, it would have been fine if you ran a prototypical upside down train. So, yes, I know, but haters gonna hate.
It has changed nothing. Changing the camera?
So, apparently that's not changed anything, so I'm going to go back so people can at least see.
Oh, sorry, I thought that might smoothen it out.
It was worth a try, let's put it that way.
Oh, well, we can say we tried, so it's all right. So we'll get some trains on screen. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the choppiness.
As long as the audio's coming through okay, I guess that's...
I don't know, is the audio coming through okay?
I will check.
It's like we're on a 1990s video phone from Kabul airport. I think the audio is coming through okay.
Yeah, someone did say the video's chopped, but the audio's coming through fine.
Dongit's Model Rail. Oh no, we've got a camera back. Dongit's Model Rail said it's fixed, but it's still a bit choppy on my phone. So
it's not changed a thing from my point of view. Sorry guys, it's just how it is.
It did fix on my screen in the transition between me on the screen to this angle. When the screen went black for a couple of seconds, both videos went smooth again.
Weird.
So I'm not sure what's going on.
Within Model Railway, Nigel Cole, John JMC, and Flymuch1 all say the audio is fine. Jerry BVR says it improved just before you switched back. So it's like it's
that's what I've seen as well.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. We're gonna have to check that out. But I suspect that we're using a lot of bandwidth because we've got a Facebook call coming in on video, and then we've also got the output of 2 video cameras going back. So
people are saying audio's fine. Keep going. So,
Ben Davis says, hi Jennifer, can't wait for the Backman range this week and hope we get S160. People always ask for the S160. I mean, it's a bit like, do you remember when everybody used to say, oh, I hope they announce a Fell this year? And I think the S160 has like taken over that torch of being the one that everybody, slightly tongue-in-cheek perhaps, says, oh, I hope somebody announces this. Although the S160 far more practical than a Fell. But we thought this year and last year that the S160 was going to be announced.
They still need to announce the WD-40.
You can't take her anywhere.
Or the P60.
Yes.
Or the 1080p.
But Dongus Mother Rose says it's like you're out of RAM on your PC. I don't think that there's 16 gigabytes
the biggest
of RAM
issue that we
on this
have is
computer.
that we have not changed anything from last week.
Hey,
However, last week it was fine. This week it's not.
Yeah. So actually, on my screen now, the video is smoother. So I'll leave it be on that camera angle. Maybe
I
that
know
will
what it is.
What?
Windows is updating in the background, isn't it?
I
bet Windows is updating in the background.
It wouldn't surprise me. Would not be not surprise me.
Yeah, because at the start of the stream it was perfectly fine, and then suddenly at one point it just started chopping up.
I have actually told Windows not to automatically update, and it just ignores me.
Yeah.
Francis has a question there. You guys should have model Tornado A1. What about you, Ollie? One I do want. I was talking to a friend of mine, James, about it. The GT3. I know that's been out a little while now, but I would really, really like one of them, I think.
I managed to get to KR Models actually loaned me one for review, and it is an amazing model. The detail on it is fantastic. It's got loads of weight. It's reminiscent of the Hornby 00 Duchess of Atholl in terms of its weight. It's very, very heavy, so it's got good traction. But the sound file on it as well, if you go for the sound version, really is nice. And I've actually got my eye on. I like the rail blue version. If it had a tops number on the side, it would be perfect. But that's just my OCD likes tops numbers on rail blue locos. Everybody's saying it's fixed now, so I don't know what's going on there. But right, Warbler Production.
Someone said I'm coming through crystal clear. So am I using up all your bandwidth?
I don't know, because when we had Fran on from Acura Scale last week, it worked fine. So I don't know what's going on. Sometimes we get this. It's probably this.
I do apologise if I've completely wrecked the stream this tonight.
It's probably one of our neighbours who is just sort of cannonballing a porno evening or something off the Naughty Network.
And there goes our monetization.
Yeah, Warbler Production says video is better now, just the occasional stutter. But also, actually, somebody did ask.
It's just got a lot smoother for me as well.
Yeah, Windows has probably finished downloading its rubbish update. But a few people noticed it and asked about it, and I didn't quite get round to actually mentioning it. But I've got the new Hellion 86.4 in Intercity livery is going round. So anybody who's been spying little glimpses of it and wondering, then yes, the electric loco that's pootling around is the new Hellion 86.4. I have filmed a full review, which is going to be going out on Friday, and I'd like to thank Hellion for loaning me the model. Not getting it back, I like it too much.
What else have you got running tonight?
We've also got the Hellion 25 from TMC. Put out a video last week about that. This is the all-new Hellion 25, but because of a double discount sale, it's currently possible to get it post-free for under £130. I think it comes out at about £126 or £124, which for a brand new full-spec locomotive is actually pretty good. So basically, they've got a January sale on until midnight tonight. But then if at checkout you put in the code JAN, just JAN in capitals, it then takes another 10% off. But because you're above £100, it's free postage. So it's actually a really good deal.
Double savings.
Yeah, and at the moment as well, it's worth having a look. If, for example, for County School, I don't know whether they had horse boxes get there, but the Bachmann Mark 1 horse boxes, they've got loads of those at a heavily discounted price as well.
Where was that? Sorry, what website was that on?
TMC.
I heard horse boxes. Oh, TMC, okay.
Yeah, the Bachmann Mark 1 horse boxes. What TMC originally commissioned them and had them exclusively for 2 production runs worth. And then they went into the main range. But what it means is that they've still got some left in both the Southern Region Green and the all over maroon, but they're actually far cheaper than if you buy a new main range one anywhere else, because they've had them in stock a while. Plus they're on something like 40 or 50% off because the double discount sale at the moment. So anybody who wants stuff like that, TMC is well worth a look, but only until midnight tonight.
Okay, well, it'll give me a couple of hours after the stream then.
I could see like bargains, and somebody in the chat will go, "No, my bargains." Though Paul Higgins here says, "Love the new banana vans from Oxford Rail." Anybody who saw my Friday video, very very lucky to get an exclusive first look. I believe I'm the first person to actually be able to review in the flesh. I got them even before the magazines. I couldn't believe my luck. But they sent over one of all of their Q1 releases, both just come out and forthcoming, and that included the banana vans. So we've got the Northeastern version and the Eastern Region BR version of the banana vans, and they're actually really great models.
I've literally just seen them on the website.
Yeah, but somewhere knocking about on the end of the blood and custard and chocolate and cream train that's doing the rounds, you'll see one lonely van, and that is the BR banana van. And then you'll also see going up and down on and over the bridge on the shuttle, there's the Pilchard bolster wagons as well, and the BR Great Eastern Railway vent van, which I'm guessing would be right up your street for county school. Because
I'm just looking at the banana. I'm just looking at the banana one now. I'm thinking I might actually pick up a couple now you've mentioned it. How do you find the Oxford Rail wagons run? Because I've had a few issues in the past. I don't know. I thought they're maybe a bit light on their feet. How did they run for you?
They're actually really great runners. I've got both versions of the Pilchards, both versions of the banana van, and all three versions of the vent van, and all of them run actually arguably better than the comparable Hornby or Bachmann wagons. I can actually let them run free down a 5% grade, and whereas a lot of wagons bounce off on the points at the bottom if you do that, they go straight through without derailing, and they are really quite free running. So I do actually think that they are quite good. And for the money as well.
What was the discount code as well for that, sorry?
From TMC, it's if you put in the code JAN, just JAN in capitals, when you check out, it'll have a box that says, do you have a code?
You'll have to do it quick, though.
Yeah, it's only valid until midnight UK time. So here in the UK, it's just gone past 8 o'clock. So you've got 4 hours, basically. Anybody else in another country, find the Model Centre, TMC, and use that code. You're welcome. And
the code is not you're welcome. The code is Jan.
No. But to be honest, the Hellion Diesel, it was a special commission, and it's the final 25 that survived in two-tone green but got a tops number. I think it lasted to something like 1977 or 78 in two-tone green. So for anybody who's modelling, the 1970s rail blue period, it just gives something a little bit different livery-wise to be pootling around in what would otherwise be a sea of blue.
See, I've just gone to order. Have the banana vans not been released yet then, are they? It says to pre-order.
The Northeastern Railway ones, I think. I don't know, actually. They just sent me them all. So I actually have no idea which ones are out and which ones are forthcoming. I had thought... Jerry BVR says, Jenny, please stop. My wallet just ran out of room screaming. But no, this is one of the things that actually as well is really important for, I always feel, for the Monday Club, is I do go out and find bargains and tell people about them. Because one of the biggest things that people always say, and I'm guessing you get this on your Wardle Wednesdays live stream, is people complaining about the price of models. So I always look to try and find sources of cheap models for people. I've actually got a video forthcoming as well, which somebody's going to be going, no, my bargains, because I've been raiding Hereford Model Centre again for some really...
Sorry, talking of bargains, I've just gone on I wish I hadn't done it now. I've just gone on the TMC sales page.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of things on there if anyone wants to get there quickly. Some incredibly cheap items on there at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at their exclusives, one of the best value wagons on there is they do an ale wagon. It's a single Bachmann vent van in weathered white, lettered up as an ale wagon, and it's like about £14. And it's a really great model, but you will never see a Bachmann factory weathered ventilated van that lower price again. Mark my words, you will never see them that cheap again. Apparently the banana vans, Brian Harper suggested, it happens now, the LNER banana van now on pre-order. I have a feeling that means that the banana vans aren't actually out. So one to keep an eye on. Although the ventilated vans, I have seen the Great Eastern Railway one advertised. I don't know whether the other two are out as well.
So you've got me lost now in the TMC sales.
Yeah, I can imagine. And that's the thing. So it's one of the things that I do try. And I think, in some respects, I'm quite lucky that I am able to use Patreon money and Super Chat money specifically to buy things to do more videos. And one of them is hunting out value for money things. I've kind of made that one of the things that I think is really important for people. I know a lot of people are on very, very tight budgets. So, you know, I can still find out there, actually. I do a sweep of, I've got about 5 or 6 model shops that have a good online mail order presence. And I do a sweep and I can still find high quality, super detailed models of even like tender steam locomotives for well under £100 out there, brand new in the box. They just happen to be new old stock. So there is still good value stuff out there. I can see, look at you clicking away there. You're like, ooh,
sorry,
I've
I've
entered
a place I shouldn't have done, and now
you're in your happy place. Is this your mind palace now?
There's some incredibly good deals on here, actually.
Yeah, like I said to you, and when you add on that extra 10% off plus free postage over £100, you can't be robbed. Well, you can, but not for very much. But my top picks would be the Ale Wagon, one of their special commissions, £14 for a Bachmann weathered vent van. You're basically you're never going to see a Bachmann vent van.
No, you wouldn't
cheap.
find a new wagon from Bachmann like that any cheaper.
No,
than
I mean, you're looking at,
day.
they're pushing 30 quid now, so it'd be rude not to get one of those if you haven't already got one. The 22-ton bolster and plate wagons as well are a really good buy from them. I've got 2 of them here already, and I'd quite happily buy more. They are great wagons, and they actually surprisingly run quite well, given that they're a long wheelbase 4-wheel wagon. The Mark 1 horse boxes as well. I'd say that's a really good opportunity to get those.
I've just seen a Bachmann weathered horse box for £30. Fully weathered as well. Yeah, really, really nice.
And they do. There's a double pack that they do for, I think it's £50, and you get 2 horse boxes, different running numbers, and you're never going to see those that cheap again. And the Class 25, the Hellion Class 25 as well, under £130. Again, you're never going to see that. Apparently, the TMC 10% is only on selected items.
That won't stop me from buying anything.
I think it's a case of suck it and see. It was definitely on the Class 25. And I believe it's only on things that are in their January sale. So there should be a tab that you can go and look at. But
I'm in the sales one at the moment, so I'm assuming that should apply to...
Jerry BVR says, the look of a man in a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I can only blame Jenny for that one, I'm afraid.
Valley's 56.
TMC is actually a website. I was going to say TMC is not a website I often. I do the rounds of so obviously you go on Fleabay and Rails of Shepherd, but TMC I don't often look at. So it's interesting to see what they've got in there actually.
Well, there's 6 websites which I normally flick through just to see what there is, and TMC is actually
has Zoe banned any of them yet, or
no, I just don't tell her. But TMC's one. Kernow Model Centre as well do quite often have some good sales on. It's worth look. Hereford Model Centre always. And I am amazed at some of the stuff that they still have in stock at the prices that they've got in. Because I've been looking at it and considering buy it, but a DCC fitted Hornby S15 for £85, and it's factory fitted DCC, and
that's sort of prices you'd be lucky to get on eBay if you
you'd pay more than that second hand, and they've got it brand new, and it's just simply it's new old stock. And I keep looking at it and keep being tempted to buy it, and then thinking I'm only buying it because it's there, but at £85, come on people, it's rude to leave it there. And that's at Hereford
which
Model
one is
Centre.
it? Is it Models and Miniatures of Hereford, or is it Hereford Model Centre?
Hereford Model Centre. And it's just 85 quid. And it's the current tooling, it's just probably about 4 or 5 years old. And it's like, why is that still there? How has nobody spotted that? A big hello to James Pets. I approve of James Pets. Great to see you. And Michael Wild says, love TMC. Their showroom in the middle of nowhere is well worth a visit. Gosh, see, I remember the early days of TMC when it was actually stood for Trafford Model Centre, and they had a little stall in Festival Village in the Trafford Centre in Manchester, and I used to love going there. And James Pett says £85 new S15 DCC fitted. What the Guatemalan insanity peppers? Yeah, exactly. How is it still there? Why has nobody bought it? The only reason I haven't bought it is because it's like I've already got an S15, and it's like, meh. But there was Stevie Film as well. It says Hatton's Class 71 in blue, 70012, only £89. There's so many bargains out there, and it's one of the things I do encourage people to share in the chat. If you know about bargains, then do let others know. Wamgok though says, no, don't tell anyone about Hereford. No, my bargains.
Wamgok, too late. It's already on my favourite. I've favorited the tab now, so there's no going back.
But Hereford Model Centres, TMC, Kerno, Rails, Hattons, they're all places you should be swinging through and just scoping out, because they do get a lot of sales on, and the price is really, as you just seen, £14 for a Bachmann factory weathered ventilated van. It is rude not to buy it.
Well, you wouldn't get that on a second-hand stall at an exhibition, so
yeah, you'd probably pay 15, 16 quid second-hand for that, if not more. Because
that's the thing with second-hand, especially at shows. If it's got the word Bachmann on it, it's normally a couple of quid.
Or if it's a special commission for somewhere, they bump a tenner onto it. But certainly, there's just there are still.
Well, Mark says he just purchased a Class 25.
Oh, what, from the TMC sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
says, thank you, Jenny.
no, you're absolutely welcome. And I did that video because I was just impressed that you could get them that cheap. It's not an affiliate link or anything off my video. I'm not making any money out of that. It's just simply a case of saying, look at this. This is such good value for everybody who says that trains are getting too expensive. Here's a chance to get them at the prices of a couple of years ago. Or in the case of that S15, that's probably the prices that they were at 5 or 6 years ago. But it is very tempting to get carried away, it has to be said. But look out, everybody, for the video coming up. Which video? Oh no, I've done the. Oh yeah, well, I've got the. Sorry, I'm forgetting what I've got coming up. I have filmed a video.
You forget what you've published and not published.
I'm about 6 videos ahead, and it makes things very difficult to work out what I've done and what I haven't done. But I do have a video coming where I delve into Hereford Model Centre and just take a look. Mystery shoppered, a whole load of coaches and wagons.
What's that at the end of the rake of coaches that's just going past you now? Is that just a box van, is it, or is that...
That's the banana van. That is the Oxford Rail banana van. When it comes round...
So that's one that no one can get their hands on at the moment, then.
Apparently so. When it comes round, I'll fish it out and hold it up to the camera. Warbler Productions asks, can I ask what the minimum number of subscribers for live streaming is? I don't know.
It's not so much just subscribers, it's also, there's a minimum amount of hours you need to have, I believe. I think.
I'm not sure.
Or is that monetization?
Monetization is a specific number. What's up, Cupboard Monkey? You're not feeling so good? Do you want to go?
I don't want to talk about it on the live stream.
That's okay. Do you want to go and have a lie down?
No.
Okay. Cupboard Monkey's not feeling.
Warble, I think it's 1,000. I could be wrong, but I believe it's 1,000.
To be monetized, you need 1,000 subs, but then it's something like
4,000 watch hours. In a 12-month period, you have to have 4,000 watch hours, and if it goes under that, I'm not sure what happens.
I think you get demonetized if you then drop back down below. Oh wait a minute, I need to grab this banana van as it goes around. But yeah, the Oxford Rail Wagons as well. £14.50. I'm finding them. I do have an affiliate link in Friday's video. So you don't pay any extra if you go through the affiliate link, but it does help out the channel.
To live stream on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers.
Oh right, I thought you could do it under that.
Is that via mobile? Is that via mobile YouTube? I'm pretty sure you need 1,000 to
Ruben
live
Ash-
stream on your
You can
phone.
live stream via a webcam or a computer under 1,000. But if you want to live stream with a mobile phone or anything like that,
Yeah,
it has to be
yeah.
1,000.
So that's the banana van. I'm just, I don't know if people can see that. I'm sort of holding it up to the screen, and I'm waiting for my.
Warbler Productions said to try Rails of Sheffield for a banana van if
Have they actually got them in stock? Because there's some
I
question
can
about whether.
have a look.
But they do run really well. You've seen that's just been going around all night, and it's absolutely fine. Ruben Ashwell says 50 subs for live streaming, but only 10 subs can join. So you can sort of have like a mini live stream, I think. Hythe Kent
Oh,
says
they do have banana van, but they don't have it.
Everyone's now saying you can live stream for under 1,000 from phone. They must have changed it very recently then, because I literally could not do the Bookroom Comedy Club via my phone. I had to move a computer into the room to get the live stream.
Chris Udden says TMC Hellion Class 25s are all pre-order and code didn't work. No, you have to. It's one specific model, and it's the one that's in two-tone green with the tops number 25102 on the side. It's a TMC exclusive, and that was in stock, although it may have sold out. I know I've been extolling its virtues, but that's the one. The other models aren't included. The pre-order ones, they're the next batch that haven't yet come out. So no, the code would not work with those.
The Great Eastern banana van, I think that's the new one. The Oxford Rail one's actually sold out on Rails of Sheffield. That's how popular it's been.
Yeah, I mean, it's just at the price, £14.50. And the Great Eastern one is great because it's I think it's the first ready-to-run, mass-produced van that we've had in a pre-grouping livery. I know we've had the 3D printed ones from Rails of Sheffield, but in terms of an injection molded thing, then yeah, it's just nice to actually have some pre-grouping rolling stock. Mark Wilson says Jan code worked for me. It's simply a case you have to get the ones that are in stock. It won't work for pre-orders, and it's ones that are in their sale, so you then get the double discount. And I think it's something like 50% off some of the items. They really are having a clear out. Right. Well, I'm just looking at the time. We're actually nearly at the point where we'd normally start to show people's videos. Now, are you okay to do that, or would you prefer to carry it over to next week?
You can do that if you want, or you can continue to talk to Ollie.
Whatever
you want to do, babe. It's your show.
Ollie, do you want to just keep talking? Because
I can keep talking. I can keep talking as long as I was just going to ask if anyone in chat's got any more questions. But I am happy to keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody on from Statfold Barn, then if they really want Mineth Tatis to appear, then I'm quite happy to bring my 009 layout and display that. If they want to get in touch, I know Warbler Productions has contact details that they can pass on to them. But
I'm looking forward to seeing the Stafford Barn, the actual railway there, because I've not actually been there before.
Oh,
no,
it is amazing.
It'll be a first.
Did you see our video that we did?
I did, and now I want to go and film one there as well.
Yeah, it's a great place, and there's just so much to see. When Zoe and I went there, we were invited by Warbler Productions, and we did a whole load of videoing there. We got some really great weather. But you've got the main running line where they've got like 3 different trains all running at the same time. But then there's like all sorts of other bits tucked away in the museum. The number of locomotives there, there's like.
Is that the place with the big roundhouse type thing? Or is that?
Yes, the big. It's like a narrow gauge roundhouse, and I think principally that's 2-foot gauge, but. They also have some other stuff in other gauges. Although whilst I think the running track was dual gauge, it's now converted to be just 2-foot gauge. But it's really great place. I mean, for a day out, it was just a really great day out. And one of the
I'm looking forward to it.
Russell Benton says to bring out a wagon at £14.50 and it sells out. Someone tell Bachman. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of debate about this because I know that when Hornby bought the remaining shares in Oxford Rail, there were people predicting that the prices would get jacked up, but we haven't seen that. You know, and one of the things that Oxford Rail has, it must be mentioned, is they, I believe, have their own factory. So there is an Oxford, I think it was actually just Oxford diecast factory, but it's where the trains are made as well, out in Hong Kong. And I believe that does give them extra protection against rising prices and more flexibility. But certainly, whatever it is that Oxford Rail are doing, because I mean, they're still making a profit, I would hope.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing something right, but they don't bring out a lot of wagons. They're very selective, so that their entire range only includes, I think it's 4 different locomotives, and there's probably maybe a dozen different items of rolling stock. So
I've actually got the Oxford Rail N7 running around at the moment.
It is a great locomotive, actually. The N7, I've got the sound-fitted one, 69612 or something like that.
Yeah, I actually had mine sound-fitted with the flickering firebox and everything put into it just to give it that bit of... Because that ran through county school.
Because you've got the ones with the silver embellishments on the smokebox door, haven't you? Is that the Lakecrest one?
I think it is, yeah. I believe it is, yeah.
I mean, they.
I'll tell you the number as it comes past, actually.
Because I've got 2 of them. I've got the BR Black, but with the factory fitted sound, which again, talking about value for money, I paid for the locomotive not much more than you would just pay for the ESU lock sound decoder that was in it on its own.
Mine's 69670. So someone might be able to...
I'll try and find mine. Let me just make sure I'm not tangled here with the cable. But I've definitely got...
Can I quickly promote Warder Wednesdays while
you're
absolutely looking for it? I've seen James say I've seen his live streams. He can definitely talk.
So I'm just going to try and find... Where's my other
if you don't know who I am, I do a Wednesday night stream. Most Wednesdays are called Warder Wednesdays, funnily enough.
A sort of button there. Normally we do.
But yeah, I think Flymo's chucked a link in there a couple of times. If you want to come over and join the conversation, just running trains, making kits, and talking rubbish for a couple of hours.
Levicus first says, C Model Rail Scotland, 27 sleeps. Gosh, it is quite close. And Gone Loco says, banana vans originally £13 went up to £14.50, which is...
That's not too much of a rise.
That's not too bad. But there we are. There's my BRN7, Early Cresters 69612 factory fitted sound. But then I've also...
Yeah, so mine must be the late crest.
But I've also got this one in Great Eastern Railway Austerity Grey as number 1002. Which is quite eye-catching, but they're very heavy. I mean, what gets me is Hornby made a big thing about the Hornby 00 models with all of the die casting, but actually these have all the die casting, and these have that kind of level of weight to them without anything special. I can't see it on my screen yet.
It's a little bit behind.
Oh, what, this one?
Oh.
So
I see. Yeah.
So I've got the Great Eastern Railway grey version, and then the BR black one, 69612, which I love these models, absolutely do. I mean, I did have a quality control fail with my very first Great Eastern Railway one, but the replacement works absolutely fine. So
what other locos do Oxford Rail do then? Because I mean, I'm not too in depth with
Dean Goods.
Their range.
They do the Dean Goods, and they do the Janus Shunter, and they do the Adams Radial. I think that's all of them. So it's quite an interesting and rather motley collection. The Dean Goods is actually quite a solid loco, certainly a great replacement for the ancient Hornby model, which was very long in the tooth. The N7 never appeared ready to run before, although the N2 has. But the N7 is definitely the star of their loco range. But the Janus Shunter is a really interesting one. Very smooth mechanism, and at one point you could pick them up for under £50, which meant that
under £50.
Yeah, £49.50. I was finding them at places like Hatton's and Rails for, and it was like nobody wanted them. But actually, the mechanism is so smooth. I was actually recommending to people that it was well worth looking into for reusing the mechanism underneath, and a lot of places were selling, 3D printed bodies to make things like J69s. And the mechanism of the Janus Shunter is actually silky smooth. Oh, I've just been reminded, there is another one. The J27 with the J26 announced, which there is one actually. In fact, there's one just hoving into view just there. So the J27 is another great locomotive. And what I like about the J26 is that when they tooled up for the J27, they've designed the molds so that they can make the fairly similar J26 as well. And it's something that I was actually a little bit disappointed when Bachmann retooled the J72, that they didn't go down a similar route to offer the quite similar J71 model, because there's no way anybody would tool up for a J71 on its own. It's just not practical.
Yeah.
But when they tooled the J72 from scratch, it was a perfect opportunity to have done that for probably not too much extra cost, but they chose not to, which I thought was a great shame. So we'll never see a ready-to-run J71 anytime soon.
I do wonder, maybe you might know better, why Oxford Rail has such a small range when it comes to locos. Is there a particular reason? Because I mean, they've got plenty of wagons.
It's a very small operation. I used to deal with the guy who did a lot of the research, planning of new models, but also did all of their PR and social media. Scott Mills, he's a Radio 1 DJ. Scott Rhodes. It's a very small band. They're based in Swansea, I think as a company they're more geared towards the road vehicle market, but they've dipped their toe in the model railway side of the business and done very well at it. But I guess their aim is not to overstretch themselves. And you can see, we saw it with DJ models. It's very easy to get carried away and kind of do a great big land grab and end up overspending and just blowing out as a spent force. So I think they've been quite cautious in that respect.
I suppose there's no harm doing it like that. If every loco you put out you're extremely happy with and the response is really good, that can sometimes be a lot better than
I know that
100 locos and only one of them being popular.
I know that some of the usual suspects who like to count rivets really heavily criticised the Oxford Rail Adams Radial, but quite honestly, they've all pretty much sold out. I still see the Hornby ones on sale, but the Oxford Rail ones have dusted, sold out in most places. So actually, their approach is pretty sound from a financial point of view. Because the last thing you want is a lot of stock that hangs around and has to be discounted. And the prices are pretty good. I mean, I don't think any of the regular DCC ready locomotives actually go above £100, including those tender ones, so things like the Dean Goods and the J27.
Yeah.
Ben Tullett says, I have found what must be the final Hornby Winston Churchill Battle of Britain class locos that haven't been sold out on Hereford models. Safe to say my wallet is now crying.
I was going to say, what are you expecting from the Bachmann range? Because obviously that's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, but just very, very quickly here. Tim
Sorry, go on.
Maslin says, "What is the channel name of the guy in the corner?" That is Wardle Road. So if I know Flymo Chairman, if you are able to just post a link to Ollie's YouTube channel. Ollie is a great supporter of the channel. We've had you on live a couple of times, but we've also met up and done bits and pieces together at shows.
Yeah, I've known you a good couple of years now, actually. I think.
Yeah, because the first time you visited was before any of this COVID nonsense.
Oh God! I tell you what, that feels so long ago.
It does, doesn't it? It's
how crazy time has gone by since before that.
Oh God, yeah. It's like we're such a changed people for it all. But yeah, so you've really you've come on in leaps and bounds, because when you first came on, how many subscribers did your channel have?
When I first visited you, I believe I had 400.
And what are you up to now?
I am currently on 5.7k, so just a couple.
So actually, you've had a bigger rise than I have. I
mean, it's mainly the 5-inch gauge videos, to be honest with you, that kind of blew the channel up. But slowly, the as you said, it's obviously consistency and sort of really enjoying doing the live streams. That the live streams are slowly picking up as well. Obviously, I've been the support I've been getting. Like I did a stream, a Sunday stream yesterday because I wasn't able to do it last week, and obviously I wouldn't get 300 people in, but I was getting 30-40 people in watching at one time, which for me is relatively good for a live stream, and I think most people enjoyed it. So it was really good.
Yeah, I dropped in briefly and said hello. Although I had to get an early night because I was at work at I had to be at work at 1:45 this morning. If I have to be at work at 1:45 tomorrow morning. So I've actually been asleep most of the afternoon, and then I've got up to do this, and then I'll go straight back to bed. It's a very strange life I lead at the moment.
Yeah, I woke up at lunchtime. I'm still in night shift mode at the moment, so I only woke up at lunchtime, and then I'll probably be awake now till early hours of the morning, and then go to sleep. I think I'm playing 5-inch gauge trains tomorrow, so I can't go to bed too late.
Yeah, no, there's in fact Ed Flame 4291 says he has 5-inch gauge videos if of interest. Referring to yourself, and Ever, you were the one who actually you bad influence got me into the 5-inch gauge scene as well.
It didn't take much though, did it, Jen?
No, it was, to be honest, I've always wanted one.
I was going to say, Jen, when it comes to you and trains, there's not much persuasion required in any scale.
Yeah. Ben Tullett says, also Jenny, when you were ill once, Ollie took control of the Monday Club and did a great job of covering for your absence. You did actually, yeah. Because you ran a live stream when I would have been on, and we kind of told people to go on over. Did you get a good turnout for that?
I did. I got an incredible turnout, and that's when I started speaking to DCC Concepts, and then obviously the following week he came on a live stream and sent me a couple of bits to show off as well. So it's been. I mean, the live streams have just been really, really fantastic. I mean,
Richard Brighton is great over at DCC Concepts, absolutely, and he's a great supporter of quite a few different YouTubers. So he's done an awful lot for the hobby and some really great products as well. So I know I was talking to him earlier today actually, because one of the things, the upside down layout, the secret of the upside down layout, what actually makes it work,
sticky tape.
No, it's the DCC Concepts power base taken to an extreme is what actually makes it work. So I was having a chat.
How many layers of? I did watch the show, but how many layers of the? Or how many magnets did you need? Because you added an extra chassis at the front, didn't you? You added an extra set of driving wheels with a magnet on it.
And actually, that locomotive got given away as a competition prize. So I don't have that locomotive, but I've built a new one, which is using a Hornby Railroad shunter, which actually works a lot better. And it's got 5 of the power base magnets on the underside. The caveat is it's also had the ballast weight removed to make it weigh less. And it
because I suppose that's the main thing is actually, unlike where you have it on, where you normally have your track flat, the more weight the better really, because you're getting the grip, but then obviously upside down everything's reversed, so you're trying to remove as much as you can.
And one of the reasons that I picked the Hornby X Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug is because they have a big lead weight in the boiler that you can just completely remove, and it doesn't affect the motor or anything else. So it's very easy to lighten it. But what I found was that the wheelbase was too short, and that's why it needed the stabilizer. Now the version that's going to be running at Glasgow, I've had to make a few changes to make it run reliably, because it was only ever built as a prop for a TV program. So it only needed to work for a few minutes, and then that was it, done and dusted. All the shots were in the can. But to be at the show, it's got to be able to work for a lot longer. And
to the point where you might not be looking at it either, because you're not going to be staring at it with your hand underneath it the whole time as it goes around. So
that's the plan. I want it so that you can basically leave it running and not have to worry. Because what you don't see in the video or on the program too much is the fact that out of shot, I've got my hands cupped and I'm following it around in case it fell off. So yeah, A Brown asks, are you bringing that loco to Model Rail Scotland next month, Jennifer? The one that ran on the bottom, I still have. I kept that, and that will come with me. But the one that ran upside down, I can't remember whether it was. It might have been Donget's Model Railway. It certainly, we posted it over to Ireland, to the winner of the competition that we did. But the original locomotive, I removed the mods to make it run upside down, and I put its ballast weight back in. So it turned into a much more conventional locomotive again. Yeah. And that actually went out as a competition prize, so I don't have the upside down one.
Does that mean someone out there is building an upside down layout somewhere? No,
I'm guessing that they'll just use it as a regular Hornby pug. And I also used it in the weathering video, so it actually had been weathered as well. I'm really looking forward to that. And people will also be able to meet and talk to Paul Tyre, who is the unsung hero of that build. And it always tickles me that the trolls, they talk like they know everything but know nothing. But actually, behind that build was PD Models up in Orkney, who designed all of the 3D printed components. We filmed loads of stuff. We did all the planning. He did the laser cutting for the tower. I did so much work with him. And then, of course, for time, all his parts got cut out of the program.
I was so upset for him for that. That's not right.
I felt a bit embarrassed.
I think you said that in the end, he only had a bit of the pictures of him on screen. Was you talking to him on the computer for like 2 seconds?
Something like that. And there's a little bit of the 3D printing that it was shown sped up. But I felt really guilty that everybody was putting all of the accolades on me, and it's like he did loads of the work as well. But he's going to be there at Glasgow as well, so it's a really great chance to talk with Paul from PD Models about the build. And you'll have seen him on TV before, because he did Biggest Little Railway with me as well. We were also on different series, albeit of Great Model Railway Challenge. He did Series 1 and I did Series 2. So he's not a complete stranger to people on TV. But certainly he was kind of the brains behind the technical side of the build. I came up with a rough concept, and he bullied that into something that was practical to build. James Pett says, will you be at Alexandra Palace this year? Absolutely, I will be there with Myneth Tatis, my 009 narrow gauge layout. That will be there. It's also an opportunity to talk to Les as well. A great friend of the channel, Les Cliff, will be there as my co-pilot wingman. And we're going to let him out from the modelling dungeon. Like, yes, Les, I'm telling him. And we're going to be bringing him with us. And so it'll be a great opportunity.
Les is going to be at Ali Pali, is he?
He is, yeah. He's my wingman for
fantastic. It'd be nice to finally meet him.
Oh, have you never met him?
No. I think I've spoken to him on Messenger a few times, but I've never.
Incredible modeller. And the thing about Les is he makes it look so effortless, because he just kind of, and if there's one inspiration for me with my modelling, I would say it's Les Cliff, because before I met Les, I would say I was very, very amateur with my modelling, and he taught me so much so quickly about how to get great results with like scenery and terrain. And I've just never looked back. And he makes it look so effortless, you know, and he works very, very quickly. And it's one of the reasons that I picked up this nickname, Queen of Speed Modelling. And again, I feel a bit embarrassed because actually the credit should go to Les, because he's the guy who taught me the moves to do it quickly and kind of just have this great sense of confidence in your abilities. And like, don't worry about the detail. It will just work out in the end, sort of thing, which really takes a lot of the stress out of railway modelling. Because you just if you're confident in your own abilities, it's like, it doesn't matter what happens, I can fix it. It's not going to be a problem, and it really does make things so much easier, and you get great results. But yeah, you can talk to. Sorry,
go on. I was going to say the scenic aspect of modelling is definitely by far my favourite part of it. Once it comes to the bulk of the static grasses and the trees and the bushes, that's where I really pride myself in. That's my favourite bits of the work.
Absolutely, and the static grass World Scenics do some amazing products. And since I discovered their range, since they supported the channel as well, it's just, again, it's like a whole new aspect to modelling. But I've just got a question here. Tim Maslin asks, might you attend the September Stafford show? I've got no immediate plans, but never say never. There's Skipsy Trains, big hello to you, says, is anybody attending Doncaster Racecourse next month? Hand in the air. I am there as a guest of KR Models, so I will be at Doncaster at the BRM show all weekend as the special guest of KR Models. So it'd be a great opportunity to meet you guys if you want to come to the Doncaster show as well. Of course, you will be able to see there some of the really great models from KR Models, including the Shay locomotive. Is a bit of a sleeper hit. In the UK, Shays are almost unheard of, but KR Models are making some great waves over in the States with that, and it's certainly one that is well worth taking a look at. I got shown that at Great Electric Train Show, and just to see it working is amazing, because whereas I know Bachmann have brought out a Shay before in their US range, the KR Models, all of the transmission goes round. It's not a dummy transmission. All of the rods and gears and the pistons actually work as it runs. And I've actually seen that they were interviewed in I think it's Model Railroad magazine, and the Yanks are very impressed with that model.
I've just seen a comment from Somerset Andy there, says, Jenny, Zoe, Ollie, and everyone, great community, thank you. I think that's something you definitely pride yourself in, is the community.
It's one of the things from the outset. We were kind of we was quite small fry at the time that COVID hit. And we were actually on air when they announced the very first lockdown. And it did come as quite a shock then, because we'd never had anything like that. And we said then that we were going to be here for the community. We recognised that at that moment there was a lot of people who were going to be very insulated, very lonely, because the clubs had shut down. There was exhibitions had shut down. At that point, not even the shops were open. Not able to get out and visit family or friends. And we recognised there was going to be a lot of people who were just going to feel quite lonely. So we said there and then that the Monday Club was here for everybody. And, everybody was welcomed to come and hang out. And at least it was somewhere that through all this strange times we've lived through, people could just, like-minded people, could get together and spend 2 hours.
A bit of normality.
Yeah, and it was something we've always been really big on, and it does seem to have really hit the spot, which I'm really grateful for. I always feel honoured that people want to hang out with us and spend their Monday evening here on the Monday Club.
Yeah. I've seen someone asking about Ali Pali. I'll be there on the Sunday, so I'm sure I'll be annoying Jenny at some point during the day.
So are you
if
going to
plan
be
on bumping into me?
are you going to be guest of? You're not guest of MRC or Hornby magazine
No,
or
not
anything?
unfortunately. I'll be there as a regular passerby, trying to pick up some bargains. But yeah, I'll be there all of Sunday.
Somebody will now say, "No, my bargains, leave some for me." You need to come to the rails stand with me because John Barber always he's like, "Oh, I'll do you that for that price." So stick with me, I'll find you some bargains. I got sharp elbows.
Where can people find you then? Have you got a rough idea of where you'll be at the Ali Pali, or is it a?
I haven't seen the floor plan yet, but I have asked. Have we lost the camera again? I'm just getting black on my.
I think we're having issues tonight, Jan. It's just one of those things.
Okay, I'll try a different
Stop
camera.
pressing the buttons.
No.
It's the same button that you had.
Yeah, I have asked if I can be somewhere near Rails of Sheffield or the MRC stand, but I haven't.
So you can
Is that
sneak
so
round the
that
back
you
of the
can
rails of
snaffle
Sheffield
all
stand
their
and start
bargains?
dropping things into your bag.
Well, certainly, yeah. If I'm, I think we've lost the cameras. Let me just try doing.
Simon's Train says, like Ken Patterson said, best hobby in the world with the best people in it. Not wrong. Not wrong.
Oh, absolutely, it is. And there's so much that we can get from this hobby. There's so many transferable skills, and I always say, for me, as a hobby, you get not just the creativity. Are you all right over there, Cupboard Monkey?
I'm just coughing around up and
Is the copper monkey dying? That it sounds like it.
She's not very well, but yeah, I mean, you've got all of the creative side, the planning side of things as well, but then also you delve a bit deeper, an understanding of electronics, an understanding of basic wiring, an understanding of woodwork and DIY. And these are all transferable skills that you can use around the house.
100%.
And just actually the confidence that it gives you, that alone is well worth it. The confidence that you can create something and succeed.
Before sorry, go on.
I was just going to say a big hello to Gwion Rhys Davies, just seeing you there in the chat.
I was just going to say, before this hobby, I knew very little about DCC. But thanks to the likes of people, obviously John Gay, Underground Eric, and Greg at Ebsworth Street as well. I've learned so much about how to take the layouts to the next level. Like never before would I have thought of having, like automate like signals that work dependent on, or do you know what I mean? Like there's so many. Like, I never would have bought a DR5000 if it wasn't for Eric. I'd have just stayed with the standard controller. But I've learned so much about DCC and expanding the DCC modules and things like that. And I'm still probably only just dipping my toe in the water when it comes to what you can actually do with DCC.
I know what you mean. I mean, like for me, actually, what I find weird is that originally I was DC till the day I die, and it's like, I've got no time for
That's what a lot of people are like though until they get it.
And then you try, and for me, actually, the unique selling point, the thing that really made me think I've got to try DCC, it was the sound. And I heard a few sound locos and thought I really like that. And ironically now, I run my trains mostly with the sound turned off. I find it annoying and repetitive.
Yeah, so do I. A lot of mine are sound fitted, but I'll only have them on for every now and then.
Yeah, for special occasions. But for me, actually, it's some of the other features of DCC that I find indispensable, which I either never knew about or didn't realise just how useful they were. Things like the ABC shuttle, that for me is one of the best features on DCC. The fact that you can see behind me, there's like all these different trains that just shuttle backwards and forwards. And I don't need to put any input into that. But then I really like the lighting functions as well.
It's going to sound stupid, but for me, my favourite thing about DCC, and it's probably the most simple, was the fact that I could run multiple trains on the same bit of track at different speeds. For me, that was just like, what on earth is? Do you know what I mean? When I was younger and I first found out about it, I was like, this is just technology gone crazy. But now that's like,
and I know what you mean. It's like, because Weir Yard is actually wired as if it's one big section. There's it's not like the bad old days of DC where each track had to be completely electrically separate from the next. Then if you wanted trains to work over multiple tracks, you used to have switches to change which track was
the amount
sent
of isolating joiners I had on my previous layouts was scary.
And all the isolating sections, so you could have locos just parked up. And a DCC dramatically reduced the really difficult to get your head around wiring that would otherwise have to be under a layout like this. I mean, the talk of like, oh, it's just 2 wires to the track, that's nonsense, but it certainly hacks out probably a good 75% of the wiring that you would otherwise have underneath.
Definitely. I mean, even like the Cobalt IP point motors, I put one of them in within about, you can install one of them in a minute or less, just 2 wires or 3 wires if you've got the Electrofrog, and it is there, and it's insane that you could, before when some of the point motors you'd have to have like a 16-volt power supply and things like that. The fact you can just run that straight off a bus wire now, I just find absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've just got the 5-amp booster that runs the entire layout, and with a layout this size, a 5-amp booster is well within its limits. If you had a bigger layout, you might want to divide it into 2 sections, have 2 boosters, but that's actually quite easy to do. And I also really like, have you managed to get your Cobalt S levers working yet?
I haven't, no. I think that's something I'm going to have to bring to you next time I visit and we get them going. I've got all the wiring harnesses and everything for them, but I've just
so easy to sort out. And I'll be honest, that's another area of this hobby that I love, is the point and accessory controls on DCC. The fact that I can wire in all of these switches just to an AEU board that's right behind them, and then that feeds into the bus. And then my points, I just press a button and it's like, I want this point on this lever, change the lever, yes, it's learnt the address, and it now just works. Whereas
because I mean, well, gone are the days for me anyway, where I'd have every point, signal, light or anything all running on its own 2 wires back to a control board somewhere. As you say, underneath all my signals now, there's one little control board, and that's connected to the bus wire, and that's as much wiring as it needs.
Absolutely. It's like I said, it doesn't take you down to the 2 wires that people used to say, oh, DCC, it's just 2 wires. But it does remove 75% of probably the more complicated wires.
Yeah.
Matt Ovell here says, I like DCC sound, but so many people seem to want to replace speakers. Cough. Billy! And make it that louder. I prefer it quiet, less annoying and more immersive. I have to say, absolutely right. And James Pett says section switches are painful. Notice at exhibitions how many times that people forget to work the section switches, causing sudden stops.
James, that's a really good point there. I've seen so many layouts at shows where there's 2 people operating a big layout that's only DC, and they're passing a loco between one and the other, and it gets to the awkward point where they're trying to pass over, and the loco sort of juttering and stopping, and then they're turning on their side of it.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do. And then James Petts here as well says, the idea of recreating the working of a signal box is a joy. And absolutely, the S levers for me, I've actually made a little diorama. So my S levers are all set up like they're in the interior of a signal box. And I've even got, I use the Ratio O gauge signal box detailing kit. Even though they're not in scale with the levers, it really does give a nice sense of stuff. And I've used the DCC Concepts HO ground signals to provide some degree of indication of the direction that points are actually along the back of the levers in some places. So some levers where you can't see where the point is, it'll show either a green or a red to tell you which way the point's going, either straight on or on the curve, and it really does add that extra dimension. But we're coming up actually. It's amazing how quick the time.
Oh yeah, I just going to say I just did.
We're coming up on 9 o'clock. Just a quick note to everybody, as we said before. The TMC sale is coming to an end. If you really want to snag yourself a bargain, get yourself over there. So what did you buy then, Ollie? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I'll tell you what's in the basket at the moment.
You've got until
where's the,
midnight, and this is the double
yeah,
discount.
I've got a banana van, and I've got an Oxford Rail electric high top British Railways van. You know the custard and the brown and custard coloured British Railway vans.
Oh yes, yes.
They fit perfect. They fit perfectly in the county school era. So I'm getting another one of them to add to the collection.
Do they have the banana van in stock, or is it pre-order?
They're on pre-order, but they do have on I think one on rails. The Ennies are out. They do have the blank ones. You know, the paint yourself ones, the unpainted ones.
Oh right, yes, yes.
So I might have to get a couple of them and just have a go at painting them myself.
So
But yeah, I just want to say, I know it's coming up to 9 o'clock. I want to say thank you very much for having me. I know I've been up twice in person, but this is my first.
Yeah.
This is my first virtual attendance.
Absolutely, and I think probably at Ali Pally we'll have to do like short live streams at the show. We'll have
definitely, I'm definitely up for that.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of people all around the world who would love to see basically what a UK show looks like, because in the UK. It's a really big event, it's a big deal, these shows, especially somewhere like Ali Pally is one of the biggest in the country. So there's a lot of great exhibitions, but also you get all the traders there, you get people demonstrating stuff. And it's almost like a Comic-Con atmosphere. Anybody who's familiar with things like San Diego Comic-Con, it's got that kind of a vibe, and there's people meeting up with each other. And it's got that kind of almost like a festival vibe to it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a festival of model engineering, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you find all the shows very much like that. And thankfully we haven't got overly commercialized. I know that some of the big manufacturers do rock up with some quite impressive stands, but it does still feel like you can go there and actually talk to the people at the manufacturers. There's not this kind of velvet rope between you and the industry. It's still got that really accessible vibe to it. And certainly, last year when I went there, I got to talk with some pretty high up people at Bachmann on the stand, which was really, really good. But also, Oxford Rail got to actually handle some of their pre-production stuff. Hornby were there. I know Hornby and Oxford Rail aren't doing shows this year, but are hoping to be back next year. But I think it's going to be great. It's I think Glasgow is the first of the big shows that's started back up. So I think that's going to be something really special. But Alexandra Palace being down in London, I think we'll also get a similar sort of vibe, because for a lot of people... I think
that's going to have a really big turnout.
Yeah, because Glasgow covers everybody in the north, so Ali Pally covers everybody in the south, and I think they're going to be the two big shows where people finally feel that they've got, free to kind of pick up where we all had to leave off 2 years ago. And I just
wanted to say as well, you're only 4 likes off 200 likes. So if you guys have enjoyed me blabbering on here for a little bit, hit the thumbs up, because 4 likes off 200.
And if we get to, what was it, 200 likes? If we get to there, then
4 of 200.
Then Jenny will buy some train porn. I don't need much encouragement.
Yeah, if this gets to 200 likes, I'll do my Water Wednesdays as I planned to do before this anyway. Hopefully, Ali Pally, I'll be there on the Sunday. So if you bump into Jenny, hopefully I'll probably be lurking around.
Are you not? You say you need to speak to see if somebody like Hornby Magazine or BRM can sneak you in for the Saturday.
Yeah, because the tickets you can only use for one of the days.
Yeah, well, if you turn up early enough, you just come in the loading bay and just pretend.
Don't tell people that.
I get into trouble now.
You're going to get a big old queue at the loading bay now.
Yeah, there'll be people that go, we're running Maneth Tatters with Jenny. We're with Jenny.
Oh, wow, 215 likes.
Oh, boom! Okay, we get to 250. Jenny will buy a new locomotive.
Yeah, if anyone didn't know who I was, I had to see a couple of people asking who the chap was in the corner. quick sales pitch. I'm Ollie at Warder Road, and I basically do Warder Wednesday live streams and a couple of 5-inch gauge videos occasionally. And I'm the reason that Jenny bought a 5-inch gauge loco, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, actually, you did sell it to me at a good price. Actually, it's going for its boiler test probably. I say next month. In February, we're looking to book it in, get a full boiler test and ticket on it. But I've already started buying rolling stock to go with it. I've got a lovely coal wagon.
I was about to say, you mentioned that you've picked up a coal wagon already, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Well, I didn't want to put coal in its bunker because I didn't want to mess it up. So I've bought a Great Western 5-plank open wagon. And I'm going to put a piece.
That's the problem. The paintwork's so nice on some of these locos.
Yeah,
you almost don't want to. You just don't even want to fire it up almost.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, my father's first Garrett, it looked pristine in the bunker, and then we tossed coal in it, went and thrashed it at a rally, and when we came back, all the paint inside the bunker was all chipped off, and we ran it so hard, we actually burnt all the paint off the funnel as well. I can remember.
Must take some doing.
Well, the blast pipe was ever so slightly to one side. It wasn't quite angled completely up, and so it was blasting onto the side of the funnel. And as we were doing the hill climb on this rally, we just kept running up and down this road that was on the site, and you could smell the paint starting to burn, and it would just sort of like flame off the chimney. It was quite bizarre. But we ran that girl quite ragged. But no, it's great.
Hopefully you don't have that same issue with the smaller loco.
I think it's going to be quite a learning curve because I'm very much used to 4-inch gauge ride-on stuff that's actually quite big.
Yeah.
And they're quite forgiving because you don't need to micromanage the water and the fire. So I think it's going to be a very different experience with the 14XX. But one thing I do have my eye on is a Class 25 in 5-inch gauge. I know where there is one. It's a you're gonna get like Eric, and you're gonna have 25 grand's worth of 5-inch gauge stuff at this rate. At this rate, I'm going to go to the Steam Workshop and go, I have all this 00 gauge. Can we trade?
You say, what sort of radius can I get in the loft if I was to take some track up there?
Oh God, no! It's I've been looking at my back garden actually because Chris from Roundhouse, I know John knows him quite well, has a 5-inch gauge railway in his back garden, sort of out and back, and I'm trying to work. I am. Very long, thin garden, but I'm trying to work out if I can do something similar in my back garden. Yeah, I'm just like the O gauge. The O gauge garden railway can take a hike because we're going 5-inch gauge.
Yeah, you can't get much better than that. To be fair, live steam on 5-inch gauge.
Yeah, well, see, maybe it's sacrilege, but I quite like diesel and electric locos better than steam. And, I've spent years, it must be 20 years, firing and... Oh, what was that? Is that you?
I've just dropped... I have a 5-inch gauge lubricator in my hand that I've just been playing with. I've just dropped the lid to it. So that's
all right.
That bang was.
Fair enough. Is that a Foster's lubricator?
This was from... This is one of the new poly clutchless ones, which I'm going to fit to my 01.
I know, but
because I'm having problems getting the steam oil into it, so hopefully this fixes it.
But does it say Foster on it? Does it actually have Foster cast into it?
No, I don't think it does. It's got nothing on it actually.
Oh right, no, it's just the ones that I see on 4-inch scale road locomotives normally say Foster lubricator on them.
I see.
But Richard Swiderski says, no, Jenny, keep the OO. John JMC says, come on, quick, 250 before we end. And don't forget to share as well. And also don't forget that you can buy the merch down below. We've got the full Billy's Replacement Speakers experience with hoodies, t-shirts, die-cut stickers, mugs. And there's also plenty of other stuff there. The JK logo, Do You DMU, Gronk it up, always a popular one in my railway, my rules. The Jenny Monday Club wagon is fully sold out, and Ollie, I do have one for you. I'm picking it up actually at Doncaster.
Fantastic.
You will finally get the Monday Club wagon. I'm so sorry it's been quite a delay.
That's going straight onto county school. That's going to make it. His home will be county school.
Oh
layout,
wow,
so that's
wonderful! One of the things actually about them is I haven't been able to weather up because all I've got here is the pre-production. And the pre-production, I've been told, don't touch it, don't weather it, don't mess about with it, because it'll be worth quite a bit in time to come. So I haven't dared weather it, but one thing that the Acura scale wagons really scream out for is that they really look amazing with some weathering. So when I get a production one, I'm going to weather it up as well, and I think it'll look really special. But I thought when you said, oh, it's going straight on, I thought the next word was going to be eBay. I've seen them on eBay. I have seen them on eBay. Yeah, and they go for above sticker price as well. Actually, they have gone up in value. But we are looking to do another special commission wagon. I'm not going to say what we've got planned, but certainly looking into the next Monday Club wagon, and hopefully maybe have it out in time for Christmas this year is going to be the plan. And what I can't believe is that I appear to be the first YouTuber who's ever actually done the special commission wagon.
And it caused a stir. It caused a stir.
Oh god, yeah, the trolls, the haters. Oh my word. Oh, and you know
Straight
what?
out the woodwork.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. They all revealed themselves, so it didn't matter because they all sold. Yeah. I mean, it is quite a scary thing to do when you put down what is the equivalent of buying a small family car up front for them and not quite knowing whether they'll sell or not. But now I've done the first one, I think that it'll be. I think it's going to be a yearly thing. I love this. Game Hammer Classic Gaming says the next Monday Club wagon is going to be a tanker with troll tears written on the side, with a van that's.
You can fill it with troll tears.
Yeah. I think that's what it's for carrying. It's like all the troll tears streaming down my face. Oh, Jenny's successful. But there we go. Anyway, we've gone over the time. Are we up to 250 likes yet? Am I buying a train from the TMC sale?
You're not far off. I think you're on 230 already, to be fair. So 231. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I'll see some people in the chat on Wednesday. 7 p.m.
And that's on your channel if they do a search for Wardle Road. What do you want, Cupboard Monkey?
It's 230 likes, but I'll give you special permission to buy a choo-choo.
There we go.
Well, I was going to buy it anyway. So,
I know, but now it sounds
fantastic.
like I'm part of the idea.
But look, thank you everybody who's come tonight. It's been a great show. And also thank you everybody who very, very generously donated on Super Chat. And thanks to the people who donated via paypal.me. And also, as you saw last week, I showed you where some of that money goes with the TNC bargain Hellion Class 25. There's still time to pick up one of those. If you get in there just before midnight UK time with the code JAN. And also, I've got forthcoming... we have a little dip into the world of Hereford Model Centre and see what bargains you can find there, and I show you where the Patreon money goes to with a video on budget buying of brand new old stock model railways. Gosh, that was a bit of a mouthful. But until next time,
thank you so much, Peter Jackson. That's really generous. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter Jackson. Very, very generously donated £5 on the Super Chat. Thank you so much. I think this is a sign. People are saying, get yourself another model. But look, thank you ever so much. But until next time, all you guys, you take great care of yourself. And thank you to Ollie over at Wardle Road. Always a pleasure. Now, you take care now, and hopefully catch you later. And don't forget, Wardle Wednesdays from 7 on Wardle Road. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying
see you later, guys.
Bye for now. So, I'm just, let me make sure that come here, you. Ooh, so,
there it is.
You found the off button. Oh, we found a camera that works. Ben Tullett says, no, the bargains. Leslie Dickinson says, good night, everyone, and take care. Richard Swiderski says, thank you, Jen and Ollie. Great stream tonight, and good night. Get well, Zoe. So, look, it just got time to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in. It's been great having your company. And until next time, stay safe, happy modelling. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2113 service to Wardle Road, stopping at Chipping Bunbury, Boxham Rack, Bolton Trinity Road, Grove Street Yard, and then on to Wardle Road. That is the 2113 service to Wardle Road.
Oh no, I was planning on going to Weir Yard. Oh, I'll have to wait for the next train.
You're already at Weir Yard.
All right. Oh no, I was planning on going to Mynwth Tatus. Oh, I'll have to wait for the next train. Bye-bye.
If you go up to the loft today, you'll sure have a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does
the Monday Club.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.